One bowl of oatmeal, your path to healing or harm. That might sound dramatic, but it's a question worth asking, especially if you're over 60 and eating oats every morning. Have you ever wondered whether that seemingly healthy breakfast could be sabotaging your liver, your gut, or even your memory? That's exactly what happened with one of my patients, Margaret Lee, a 70-year-old woman who had oatmeal religiously every day for years. She came in complaining of persistent bloating, fatigue, and sleeplessness. When we reviewed her habits, the cause wasn't mysterious, it was oatmeal, or more specifically, the way she was preparing and combining it. She was unknowingly making 5 of the 7 most common oatmeal mistakes. As a physician who has studied senior nutrition for decades and worked with hundreds of older adults, I've seen a clear pattern. The problem isn't oatmeal, it's misuse. When handled right, oats can support heart health, energy, and digestion. But when misused, they become a hidden source of inflammation, toxicity, and imbalance. So before you take another spoonful, let's walk through the 7 critical oatmeal mistakes that could be holding back your health or quietly making things worse. Many seniors believe they're making a smart, heart-healthy choice by eating oatmeal every morning. But what if that trusted bowl of oats is silently working against you? One of the most overlooked dangers lies not in how you prepare it, but in the kind you choose. Conventional, non-organic oats, those stacked neatly on supermarket shelves and often marketed as wholesome, are often grown using a herbicide called glyphosate. This chemical is widely used in industrial agriculture to control weeds, but its presence in food has become a global health concern. In 2015, the World Health Organization classified glyphosate as probably carcinogenic to humans, linking long-term exposure to an increased risk of cancer, hormonal disruption, and liver toxicity. Let me tell you about Mr. Robert Dean, a 73-year-old retired engineer who came to me for persistent fatigue and mildly elevated liver enzymes. He had no history of alcohol use or liver disease, and his diet was, by all accounts, exemplary, centered around oatmeal, fruits, and lean proteins. But when we dug deeper, one detail stood out. He had been eating non-organic oatmeal every day for over 5 years. We ran further tests and found traces of environmental toxins, including residues linked to herbicide exposure. It wasn't conclusive, but the correlation was hard to ignore. This is not an isolated case. Studies, including a 2018 report by the Environmental Working Group, have found glyphosate in many oat-based products, including cereals, granola, and oatmeal, even those marketed to children. Over time, even low levels of pesticide residue can accumulate in the body, potentially triggering chronic inflammation, gut dysbiosis, and metabolic dysfunction, issues that are especially problematic for older adults with slower detoxification systems. So what's the alternative? Organic oats. Certified organic oats are grown without synthetic herbicides, pesticides, or chemical fertilizers. A 2017 study published in the Journal of the Science of Food and Agriculture found that organically grown grains often contain higher levels of key nutrients like zinc, magnesium, and iron. That's because organic farming supports soil health and microbial richness, 2 factors directly tied to the nutritional quality of crops. Now, I understand the concern about price. Organic oats do tend to cost more, but think of it as an investment in long-term health. To reduce costs, consider buying in bulk or online through trusted brands like Bob's Red Mill, Nature's Path, or 365 by Whole Foods. Store them properly in airtight containers to preserve freshness and extend shelf life. A one-time adjustment in shopping habits can lead to years of improved vitality. Before you take another bite of your morning oatmeal, pause and ask yourself, what's really in your bowl? Go check the label. Does it say organic? If not, it might be time to reconsider what's fueling your day and your body. And once you've chosen the right oats, another silent saboteur often slips in: sugar. Let's move on to the next mistake, one that turns your healthful bowl into a metabolic trap. Mistake 2. Sweet mornings, sour consequences. How sugar is silently destroying your gut and your mood. One of the most deceptive mistakes people make with oatmeal is thinking that adding sugar or flavored syrups somehow keeps it healthy. In reality, sweetening your oats with refined sugar, condensed milk, or artificial sweeteners transforms a potential superfood into a metabolic burden. Here's why: when you load your breakfast with refined sugar, you trigger a rapid spike in blood glucose. This sudden surge is followed by an equally sharp crash, which not only leaves you feeling irritable, foggy, or tired, but also pushes your pancreas to pump out more insulin than your body may be ready for, especially in older adults. Over time, this repeated stress can lead to insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes, weight gain around the abdomen, and chronic inflammation, particularly affecting the gut-brain axis. That's right, your sugar-sweetened oatmeal might be directly impacting not just your digestion, but your mood and mental clarity. Take, for example, one of my patients, Margaret Hall, a 66-year-old retired librarian. Every morning, she prepared a bowl of oats with a generous swirl of sweetened condensed milk and a drizzle of caramel syrup. It seemed like a harmless comfort, but she began experiencing dizziness, anxiety, and mood swings. Lab work showed impaired glucose tolerance. When we traced back her dietary habits, it was clear that the sugar-laden oats were not just unhelpful, they were actively contributing to her metabolic and emotional instability. Even so-called sugar-free options aren't innocent. Artificial sweeteners like aspartame and sucralose may contain no calories, but several studies, including a 2020 review in Nature Reviews Endocrinology, have shown that these compounds can disrupt the gut microbiome. They decrease microbial diversity and increase gut permeability, both of which are strongly linked to depression, brain fog, and a weakened immune system. For seniors, whose microbiota is already more fragile, this disruption can have even deeper consequences. Fortunately, there are delicious, natural alternatives. Try sweetening your oatmeal with sliced bananas, apples, or medjool dates, foods that provide natural sugar along with fiber, vitamins, and antioxidants. Add a dash of cinnamon or a teaspoon of unsweetened cocoa powder to elevate the flavor while adding anti-inflammatory benefits. Cinnamon, in particular, has been shown to improve insulin sensitivity and support blood sugar regulation. If you prefer a touch of syrup, opt for raw honey or pure maple in small amounts. The goal is to enhance, not sabotage, what should be a nourishing meal. So next time you reach for that sugary swirl, ask yourself, is it worth trading a stable mind and steady energy for a fleeting sweetness? Just 1 week of replacing refined sugar with fruit could transform the way your body and brain feel. Try it and journal the difference. Now, even if you're choosing the right oats and sweetening them wisely, there's another overlooked mistake that could be draining the nutrition from your breakfast before you even take a bite: eating oats raw. Let's explore why this seemingly time-saving habit might be silently stealing vital nutrients from your body. In recent years, raw oats have become a trendy addition to smoothies and breakfast bowls, praised for their convenience and rustic appeal. But beneath their natural reputation lies a hidden problem, one that can gradually rob your body of essential nutrients. Raw oats contain phytic acid, an anti-nutrient naturally present in grains, seeds, and legumes. While it's not inherently harmful in small amounts, phytic acid binds to key minerals like iron, zinc, and calcium in the digestive tract. When consumed regularly and without proper preparation, it prevents your body from absorbing these minerals efficiently, contributing over time to fatigue, weakened bones, and even mild anemia. Take the case of William Kent, a 71-year-old retired architect who came to my clinic complaining of persistent fatigue and digestive upset. He had been blending raw oats into his morning smoothie every day, thinking it was a healthier, more efficient way to get fiber and protein. His diet was otherwise balanced: leafy greens, lean meats, fruits, but blood tests revealed mild iron deficiency and low zinc levels. He also experienced chronic bloating and occasional diarrhea. We traced the issue back to his raw oat habit. Despite his nutrient-rich meals, his body wasn't absorbing what it needed. This is where preparation matters. A 2018 study published in Nutrients found that soaking oats in water or milk for just 6 hours could reduce phytic acid levels by up to 50%. This simple step significantly enhances the bioavailability of minerals like iron and zinc. Soaking activates the enzyme phytase, which breaks down phytic acid and makes nutrients more accessible to the body. For older adults who are already more prone to deficiencies due to age-related changes in digestion, this step can make a meaningful difference in nutrient status and overall energy levels. The solution: overnight oats. Simply combine rolled oats with a liquid of your choice, like almond milk, oat milk, or even plain water, and let them sit in the fridge overnight. Add a tablespoon of chia seeds for added fiber and omega-3s, or stir in some almond butter for healthy fats. Top it with fresh fruit, and you've got a breakfast that's not only easy, but also optimized for digestion and nutrient absorption. And if you enjoy warm oats, you can lightly heat your soaked mixture the next morning without destroying its benefits. If you've ever eaten dry or raw oats and felt bloated, sluggish, or oddly hungry afterward, you might now understand why. Try soaking them tonight and see how your body feels in the morning. It's a small shift that can yield a big return, but even the most perfectly prepared oats won't work in your favor if your body lacks the one ingredient that makes fiber functional: water. Let's look at how forgetting to hydrate can turn fiber from your digestive ally into a gut-clogging foe. Oatmeal is widely praised for its high fiber content, especially beta-glucan, a type of soluble fiber that supports heart health, stabilizes blood sugar, and promotes a healthy gut. But without enough water, that same fiber can backfire, acting like glue instead of medicine. When beta-glucan absorbs liquid, it forms a gel-like substance that helps move waste smoothly through the intestines. However, if you don't drink enough fluids alongside your fiber-rich breakfast, you risk slowing your digestion to a crawl. The result: bloating, gas, constipation, and even nutrient malabsorption. Consider the experience of Martha Lewis, a 68-year-old retiree who started eating oatmeal every morning on her doctor's recommendation. She prepared it carefully, used organic oats, and avoided added sugars, but she rarely drank water with her meal. Within weeks, she developed abdominal discomfort, irregular bowel movements, and a lingering sense of heaviness. After reviewing her food diary and hydration habits, it became clear. She was consuming plenty of fiber but very little water. Once she began drinking a full glass of warm water with breakfast and adding hydrating fruits to her oats, her digestion improved significantly within days. This is more than anecdotal. A 2021 study in the Journal of Nutrition confirmed that high-fiber diets without adequate fluid intake can disrupt the balance of gut microbiota, slow bowel transit time, and cause gastrointestinal distress. For older adults whose sense of thirst often diminishes with age, dehydration can sneak up quietly, making fiber less of a friend and more of a foe. To get the full benefit from oatmeal, hydration must become a non-negotiable part of the routine. Start with a simple step. Drink 8 to 12 ounces of water first thing in the morning before you even touch your bowl. During breakfast, sip on unsweetened herbal tea or fresh cucumber-infused water. You can also increase your hydration by pairing oatmeal with water-rich fruits like watermelon, oranges, or papaya. If cold drinks don't appeal to you, a warm mug of lemon water can gently stimulate digestion while supporting hydration. Ask yourself honestly, how much water do you typically drink with your breakfast? Today, try adding just one extra glass and pay attention to how your gut responds over the next few days. You might be surprised by the difference it makes. Of course, even if your oats are organic, properly prepared, and consumed with plenty of water, one overlooked detail could still undermine your efforts: time. Let's explore why ignoring expiration dates might quietly turn your oatmeal from a nourishing food into a toxic risk. Oats are often considered a pantry staple, long-lasting, affordable, and easy to store. But many people mistakenly assume that because oats are dry, they never truly expire. The truth is, oats can and do go bad. Over time, especially if improperly stored, they lose key nutrients like B vitamins, such as thiamine and folate, that are critical for energy production, nerve function, and cardiovascular health. Even more concerning is the risk of mold contamination, particularly with fungi such as aspergillus, which produce a highly toxic substance called aflatoxin. A 2019 review published in Toxins journal found that aflatoxins commonly form in improperly stored grains and cereals, posing a real threat to liver health, immunity, and even cancer risk with prolonged exposure. This danger is amplified for older adults, whose detoxification systems may already be slower and more fragile. One patient, George Benson, a 74-year-old widower trying to manage his retirement budget, had been using a large bag of oats he bought on sale over a year ago. He stored it in a warm, humid pantry in its original packaging. Over time, he noticed increasing fatigue, digestive issues, and elevated liver enzymes. Further investigation suggested possible mild aflatoxin exposure. After switching to a fresh supply and improving his storage methods, his symptoms gradually improved. So how can you protect yourself? First, always check the expiration date on the oat packaging. If the oats smell off, musty, or have an oily or sour scent, discard them immediately. Visual signs like dark spots, clumping, or discoloration are red flags. Even if no mold is visible, long-term storage in humid environments can still promote microbial activity that you can't see. For optimal preservation, transfer your oats into airtight containers made of glass or BPA-free plastic and store them in a cool, dark place, ideally your refrigerator or a temperature-controlled pantry. If you live in a humid climate, refrigeration is even more critical. Don't treat oats like an immortal food. Their nutrients degrade with time, and when improperly handled, they can become more harmful than helpful. Taking a minute to inspect your oats today could save your liver a lot of stress tomorrow. So go ahead, open your pantry and check that bag. But let's say your oats are fresh, well-stored, and perfectly safe. What else could possibly go wrong? Surprisingly, the way you pair your oats, the ingredients you mix in, could be turning a healthy bowl into a chemical cocktail. Let's dive into the next mistake: combining oats with ultra-processed foods. Oats are celebrated as one of the most nourishing, heart-healthy foods you can start your day with. But that all goes out the window when they're paired with ultra-processed add-ons. Many people unknowingly sabotage their oatmeal by adding flavored syrups, whipped toppings, powdered creamers, colored cereals, or even prepackaged flavor mixes loaded with sugar and chemical additives. The result: instead of a blood sugar-friendly, anti-inflammatory breakfast, you're consuming a cocktail of refined sugars, artificial sweeteners, preservatives, and trans fats. These ingredients directly counteract the benefits of oats, introducing compounds that disrupt your metabolism, inflame your body, and throw your gut microbiome off balance. I recall a patient named Harold Evans, a 70-year-old former high school coach. Every morning, he would eat a generous bowl of oatmeal, but not just any oatmeal. He topped it with chocolate syrup, marshmallow cereal, and a splash of flavored creamer. It was his reward for eating something healthy. Ironically, despite avoiding fast food and eating oats daily, his blood pressure was high, his fasting glucose was unstable, and he frequently felt fatigued. When we broke down his breakfast, it became clear that the oats were not the problem. It was everything he was adding to them. Scientific research supports this. Trans fats, often found in non-dairy creamers and processed toppings, are known to increase systemic inflammation and contribute to heart disease, insulin resistance, and weight gain. Preservatives like sodium benzoate and artificial colorings can interfere with gut health and neurological balance. This is especially harmful to seniors, whose bodies are less efficient at filtering out toxins and regulating inflammatory responses. The fix: keep your toppings simple, natural, and nutrient-dense. Fresh fruits like blueberries, strawberries, or banana slices not only provide sweetness, but also deliver antioxidants and fiber. A spoonful of chia seeds or ground flax seeds adds omega-3s and helps regulate digestion. Unsweetened Greek yogurt introduces protein and probiotics. A dollop of almond or peanut butter brings in healthy fats. And a sprinkle of cinnamon. It's more than flavor. It helps stabilize blood sugar and has anti-inflammatory effects. So, before you dress up your oatmeal tomorrow morning, pause for a moment. Are you enhancing its health benefits or burying them under artificial junk? Reframe your mindset. Every topping is either a step toward wellness or a step away from it. And even with all the right ingredients in the bowl, one last mistake could still ruin the nutrients: how you cook your oats. Let's explore why overcooking could silently turn your superfood into a sticky, nutrient-depleted paste. Cooking oatmeal seems simple, but there's a fine line between perfectly prepared and overcooked mush. Many people, in an effort to achieve a soft, creamy texture, boil oats for far too long or use high heat, not realizing this process is silently degrading their breakfast's nutritional value. When oats are overcooked, especially at high temperatures for extended periods, they lose a significant portion of heat-sensitive nutrients, including B vitamins like thiamine B1, riboflavin B2, and folate B9. These vitamins play critical roles in energy production, brain health, and cardiovascular function. According to a 2019 study published in Food Chemistry, prolonged cooking can destroy up to 50% of thiamine, making what could have been an energizing breakfast into a far less potent meal. I remember one patient, Karen Mitchell, a 63-year-old who had recently switched to oatmeal as part of her heart health routine. Wanting to make it nice and soft, she would simmer her oats on high heat for 15 to 20 minutes. But instead of feeling energized, she felt heavy, bloated, and underwhelmed. The flavor was bland, the texture gluey, and she eventually lost interest in eating oatmeal altogether. Once I showed her a gentler cooking method, 5 minutes on low heat or overnight soaking, she not only regained her appetite, but also began noticing more consistent energy levels and smoother digestion. The damage of overcooking isn't limited to B vitamins. Oats contain unique antioxidants called avenanthramides, which are especially powerful in fighting inflammation and protecting against oxidative stress. These compounds are fragile and highly sensitive to heat. Destroying them through aggressive boiling undermines one of oatmeal's greatest gifts, its ability to support heart health and reduce systemic inflammation. Thankfully, preserving nutrients is easy with a few mindful adjustments. Use rolled oats or steel-cut oats and cook them gently over low to medium heat for no more than 5 to 7 minutes. Better yet, prepare overnight oats by soaking them in almond milk or water and storing them in the fridge. This method softens the grains, enhances digestibility, and retains more nutrients. A brief warm-up in the morning, if preferred, is enough to enjoy a warm bowl without sacrificing value. Ask yourself, are you cooking for comfort or cooking for health? You don't have to sacrifice one for the other. With just a tweak in your routine, you can protect the gold hidden in every oat. Now that we've explored the 7 biggest mistakes people make with oats, let's shift focus. What happens when you prepare oats the right way? It turns out, doing so unlocks a cascade of powerful health benefits that go far beyond breakfast. Let's uncover how properly prepared oatmeal can strengthen your immune system, protect your heart, and fuel your energy, all from one humble bowl. Once we understand and avoid the most common oatmeal mistakes, this humble grain is no longer a hidden danger. It becomes a powerful tool for restoring health in our later years. Oats, when prepared properly, are not just a breakfast item. They're a strategic ally for the aging body. One of the most remarkable benefits is their ability to strengthen the immune system. About 70% of your immune cells reside in the gut, and oats contain beta-glucan, a soluble fiber that acts as a prebiotic, feeding the beneficial bacteria that line your digestive tract. These bacteria help regulate inflammation, enhance nutrient absorption, and directly support your body's ability to fight off illness. By improving gut health, oats indirectly bolster your immune defenses on a daily basis. They also play a key role in protecting the heart. Beta-glucan doesn't just help the gut, it binds to bile acids in the digestive system, preventing the absorption of LDL cholesterol, commonly known as bad cholesterol. Over time, this helps reduce plaque buildup in arteries, lowering the risk of heart attacks and strokes. The best part, it does so gently, without the side effects of medication. For seniors especially, this kind of natural cholesterol support is invaluable. Lastly, oats offer steady, reliable energy. Unlike processed carbs that spike and crash your blood sugar, oats digest slowly thanks to their high fiber content. This stabilizes blood glucose, reduces cravings, and provides fuel that lasts through the morning. There's no sugar crash, just sustained focus and satiety. Add some healthy fats or protein, and you've got a complete, balanced start to your day. I think of a patient named James Howard, 65, who came in with high blood pressure, poor sleep, and frequent colds. He had been eating oatmeal, but with sugar, processed toppings, and inconsistent habits. We made small changes, switched to organic oats, added fruit instead of sugar, soaked overnight, and increased hydration. 3 months later, his blood pressure was down, he was sleeping through the night, and he hadn't caught a cold in weeks. The oats didn't cure him, but used correctly, they supported his body's ability to heal. When it comes to oatmeal, the difference is in the details. And now that you've seen how the right approach can unlock serious benefits, it's time to wrap things up with a final takeaway you won't want to forget. Let's move on to the conclusion and put everything into perspective. After walking through the 7 most common oatmeal mistakes, it's clear that even the healthiest foods can lose their value, or worse, harm your body, if used the wrong way. From choosing non-organic oats laced with pesticides, to sweetening with refined sugar, eating them raw, skipping water, ignoring expiration dates, adding processed toppings, or overcooking until the nutrients are gone, each mistake chips away at the benefits. But when prepared thoughtfully, oats become a true nutritional powerhouse. They support immune function, protect heart health, and deliver long-lasting energy. In the end, it all comes down to one simple truth. Food isn't inherently toxic. It becomes toxic when misused. Oatmeal can be your best ally or a hidden threat, depending entirely on how you prepare and enjoy it. So here's my challenge to you. Starting tomorrow morning, commit to 1 week of eating oatmeal the right way. Choose organic, soak, or cook gently. Avoid sugar and junk toppings, and hydrate properly. Keep a journal, track your digestion, sleep quality, and energy levels. You may be surprised by how much better you feel. And once you've tried it, I invite you to share your experience in the comments. What did you learn today about your breakfast routine? How did it make you feel? Your story might inspire someone else to turn a simple bowl of oats into a powerful tool for lifelong health.